been all in my business. You be all in your feelings. I been all in them trenches. I been all in my bag.
Hey guys, I'm Sai and welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of our wrestling series, Keepin It Real. It is Wrestlemania week and you can watch the show on youtube.com/Ace Podcast Nation. You can download the audio versions at all podcast platforms. Ace Podcast Nation, of course, you're home to many other great shows and top series, expert analysts, top guests and more. So please do give us a follow on social media to keep up to date on upcoming shows and guests, plus the new series that we're creating. And of course, if you want to keep it purely wrestling, you can follow at Keepin It Real with a 2 A's in Real _ on Twitter. All our live shows are available on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter, but all the other shows are available first at the YouTube channel, so don't forget to click that bell for notifications. And in tonight's edition, we will be talking predominantly WrestleMania 37, the shows that are this weekend, but I'm sure we'll be touching on a few little wrestling bits along the way or at the end. But let us know in the comments who you think will come out on top over the weekend, plus any big surprises you'd like to see WrestleMania week. And of course, are you excited that there will be fans back in the arena for the 2 nights of WrestleMania? Let us know in the comments and on social media. But joining me, as ever, jumping in for this special edition of Keepin It Real, it is PostWrestling.com's journalist, writer, interviewer. It's Mr. Andrew the Goat Thompson. Please subscribe to his YouTube channel for the very best wrestling interviews. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
What's going on, Side of Science Guy, Ace Podcast Nation owner, even though I'm about to swoop in like Shane McMahon and I'm gonna take the rights from you.
Take the rights with my sons. He's gonna split all the series up, give them all to my sons, and we're gonna have an invasion angle up in this bitch.
I'm gonna sell the Andy Campbell show to Google videos.
You could just sell that content, baby. How are you, mate? I appreciate you fitting this in because I know this week is going to be incredibly busy for people like yourself working in wrestling media. It's just a crazy week, isn't it?
I'm already tired of listening to Triple H interviews. Fed up with it, but no, it's fun though, man. I like covering all the information and all the stories that come out of the week. It's fun. I always enjoy it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's better to have a week like this where you constantly got new stuff and new interviews and new shows every night, every day, than like one show a week and be bored. You know, it's a dream job, I think, mate, just to be able to talk and rest and write about something which you enjoy watching. It's the dream, my friend. It's the dream. So, which way round do you want to do it? Do you want to talk WrestleMania night 1 and 2? And then talk some other bits, or do you want to touch on a few other bits and then finish on the WrestleMania? I'll give you the choice.
You lead the way, my man.
Tell you what then, mate, what we'll do, I want to touch on Will Ospreay winning the IWGP title. That was an interesting choice. Did you expect it beforehand? Were you expecting the change?
A lot of people weren't really happy about Ospreay winning the title, and for reasons outside of professional wrestling. I'm pretty sure you heard about the situation with Pollyanna and that whole deal right there. Like I saw a lot of people like I follow from that like this overseas, and they felt like it should have been like one of the biggest moments for British wrestling, that the first IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, the first British IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Like you would think it would be like this big massive celebration, but a lot of people just couldn't, and they shouldn't, get past the situation with Pollyanna, because Ospreay didn't really come out and apologize for it. But on the wrestling front, I mean, I think Kota Ibushi's reign should have went a little bit longer. But I mean, at the same time, I'm pretty sure New Japan's like trying to get some buzz heading into the Tokyo Dome show that they got, and Okada's headlining that show. So you likely think it's going to be Ospreay versus Okada. And didn't Ospreay beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom this past?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
yeah.
Didn't he? And I think the other thing as well is I think they seem to be all in on heel Will Ospreay. So I guess if you take away the out of the rings, the outside of the ring stuff, beating Kota Ibushi is probably like pretty much the best. Like Kota Ibushi is probably outside of Okada their biggest babyface. It is what it is, I suppose. The outside of the ring, like I feel for Will Ospreay, I just think if he had made a proper apology,
Yeah, it's that simple, bro.
I just feel like if he had apologized properly, people would be really happy for him now because he has worked hard to get where he is, and he's gone through all the early stages of wrestling and doing all the shit stuff. He's built himself up outside of really like a WWE machine behind him, but he's got this. I don't know what the word is to describe it, but this is going to be hanging over him simply because he didn't apologise properly. Yep. And I think that's when you think of it on that very basic. I know there's lots of intricacies to it, and then there's all these different additional bits of information. But when you think of it very basically like that the main reason the backlash is there is because he hasn't apologised properly. It's stupid, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Like from it's so simple, bro.
Yeah.
Just say sorry. I ain't saying people going I ain't gonna say people like going up and forgive him, but like just say sorry.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Like, right. I know little bits of it. I know sort of a little bit about it, but not a great deal. But like at the end of the day, everybody does make mistakes. Everyone messes up. Everyone fucks up. Everyone does things they're not proud of over the years. It's kind of like own your shit. And if you do shit which is not nice, not good, whatever it may be, like own it and apologise. And people will decide if they want to, if they want to forgive you, they will. If they don't, they won't. That's just kind of the way it is. But like half-assed apologies or trying to turn the blame on other people or explain why you've been a massive bell end doesn't really do it for me and clearly a lot of other people as well. And from a wrestling point of view, I do think it's a big shame because it should be, like you said, it should have been like a big moment and a big celebration. And it was very, 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 very mixed because I did see some people, happy about it. But I also saw I would say it was almost 50-50, which is weird. How old is Will Ospreay now? Because he's still relatively young, isn't he?
I think so. I don't know his exact age, but I know he's not like old.
I wonder if he's 30, yeah. Because he came into wrestling at such a young age, didn't he, is the thing. So I suppose it's difficult to judge those guys on their age. So yeah, that's that. I was surprised they cut off Ibushi's title reign so early. He's 27. So, I mean, he's still got, you'd think a good portion of his career ahead of him. It'll be interesting when New Japan go. It looks like they're building, like you say, to Okada. But was it Takagi? He came out and challenged as well, I think. Yeah, I think didn't Ospreay beat Shingo Takagi in the New Japan Cup?
Beat him 2 years in a row in the Best of the Super Juniors, and then he beat him in the New Japan Cup. So, but just with New Japan storytelling, Shingo got to get one back.
Yeah, got to. Yeah, for sure. So obviously, yeah. So then,
no, I think Shingo probably gonna challenge. Maybe he challenges Ospreay at the baseball stadium show, and then he gonna challenge, and then Will Ospreay defends against Okada at the Dome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, let's be honest. From a wrestling point of view, again, Okada versus Will Ospreay will probably be very, very good. I'd be very surprised if me and you were talking after Wrestle Kingdom and we're saying, "Oh, that was a real shitty match." Like, it should be good. But yeah, what do you make of his stable? Will Ospreay's little stable. Who's in it altogether?
Great O'Con. It was Bea Priestley, but she left. And she left Stardom too, which is interesting. And seems like she's not going back to Japan. So, and she got released from AEW. So the only thing left on the table, you would think, is WWE. Mm-hmm. So, well, I guess we're gonna end up seeing. But it's Great O'Con, Will Ospreay, Jeff Cobb, and Toa Hanare. who I was supposed to interview, New Japan office. They blocked me outside.
No.
No, I'm serious.
Did they?
Not
Well, you
not
had
not
it.
not purposely, but I was supposed to interview him, and then what happened was he debuted. I mean, he returned as a part of Osprey's group, and I guess they didn't want him to, leak that information to me
Yeah.
accidentally. So he told me that he had to reschedule, but he couldn't tell me why. So I kind of figured he was probably going to be the X that was going to be debuting with Osprey's group. And then after I was talking to him, and he said that he couldn't do it because they got like other interviews and press and stuff that they do it for the website and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They just want the first,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But they still block me a little bit. It's all good
But they
though.
could have put like just like a block on it, like, and just let him do the interview, and then said, don't report
Release
this
it. Yeah, don't
until
release
after.
it.
I forgot what the word is, but
Yeah.
like,
No, I mean I get it though from a state.
Yeah,
They just
of
want the
course.
first, words post.
Yes.
But all that shit is in character. Like
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, well, it is what it is, mate. I'm sure it won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time a wrestling company tries blocks
Impact.
media members that are interested.
Impact.
What was that, mate? Those motherfuckers. So by the time this show goes out, we're going to be. I'm going to put this out on Thursday. So Stand and Deliver Night 1 will be in the books, and AEW will be in the books. So we can't talk about those shows, and it doesn't seem much point in like previewing NXT because it's going out after. But what I would like to know, I'm going to ask you just to pick out a couple of matches from each night of NXT which you are really looking forward to, or you think is going to be a banger or a sleeper, and just kind of give me a couple of reasons why. So, Stand and Deliver Night 1. We got, is there anything which springs to mind straight away, or do you want me to go through the matches quickly to rejig your memory?
let me pull up the card right now. I have it. Out of good old courtesy of the post wrestling site.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull out. I got the card right here. And for night 1, I am definitely looking forward to the NXT Tag Team Title 3-way match. I'm rooting for MSK. I have I'm going to throw my journalistic bias right out the door for MSK because back in 2018 when I did my first interview, I didn't have like good equipment to record anything, and it just sounded shit. So I couldn't. It was impossible for me to do audio. And the first interview I ever did was with Dez Wesley, and he let me interview him through DM, and dude gave me like the most detailed answers, like in paragraph form or like more, and like answered like every question, like it was like 8 of them, and like I'm talking about like in the most detailed thing, like typed everything out, and that was just cool as shit, bro. And that always stuck with me. Like I legitimately never forgot that, and that was the first interview I ever did. And then, like other people who I tried to do that to, and it's not nothing, like no offense to them, but like they gave me like 5-word answers and stuff like that, and he like typed out like whole like full length answers that I would get if I was interviewing, if I was talking to him. So that shit meant a lot to me, bro, and it still does to this day. So yeah, I always root for him, see him get the W. So yeah, fuck that bias journalism. I'm biased, but I'm looking forward to seeing for real, bro. I think they should do Grizzly Young Veteran should win the title, and then MSK on the chase. I feel like it's always money in the babyface team chasing. Like I just think it's better that way. But I'm pretty sure ain't nobody gonna complain. I'm looking for. I know you looking forward to seeing Walter versus Ciampa.
Yes.
I hope Walter slapped the shit out Tommaso. Very much looking forward to that. All joking right there, joking, of course.
No, I think I am really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the tag match. I'll be interested which direction they go with the tag team titles because, like we've talked about before, like I think Karrion Kross is going to go up to Raw or SmackDown post WrestleMania, and I'd actually like Santos Escobar to move up towards the NXT title, which means that you wouldn't necessarily want to put him, put the Cruiserweight title on him. And I think a ladder match gives them, I know that's on night 2, but that gives them an out to beat Santos Escobar without pinning him. And then he can move on to the NXT title against Finn Balor, say. But I also think if they're going to move him into the NXT title picture, could they possibly put the titles on Legado del Fantasma? I look, grizzled young vets, they're just awesome. So I agree with you. I'd like to see them as champions, and then have MSK chase. I think Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez could be a bit of a banger. I think that's going to be a good match. Do you know the Gauntlet Eliminator, which is Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, Cameron Grimes, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Leon Ruff, and LA Knight? Is that for a title shot of some kind?
Yeah,
because I'm behind on NXT TV.
Yeah, the winner faces Gargano on night 2.
Got you. So yeah, Pete Dunne versus Kushida looks like, that'll be a good match as well. Look, there's nothing on that first night, which looks like bad. There's nothing which you think, oh, that could be a bit rough. Like, they all look pretty good. Night 2, like, straight away, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly, I think will be excellent.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. I watched a little bit of the WWE press conference they did, like the NXT press conference on their YouTube channel and the network and stuff. I thought it was pretty well done, I gotta say. If you ignore like the questions and like it's all in character, and I get that, it's fine. I just thought Karrion Kross came across as really, really legit in that press conference. I thought that was really good, and Finn Balor, I'm looking forward to that match more now than I was before I watched that press conference, if that makes sense. So that interests me because, like I say, I think Karrion Kross is going up, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he wins the title. So that's interesting to me. You got a ladder match. You got Adam Cole, O'Reilly, like I said, Gargano versus a winner. Who do you think that'll be? Do you think LA Knight, just because they won't want to beat him in his first match?
I think they're gonna give it to Swerve.
I hope they do. He deserves it.
And more so because they probably don't want to go to LA and Gargano right away, because they kind of tease that on NXT. So I feel like they probably won't go like straight to that, and they'll probably like, I think Swerve will give Gargano like a really good match on night 2, and then
sure.
and then they'll go to LA Knight versus Gargano.
Indeed. And then you've got Ember Moon and Shotzi versus Candice and Indy Hartwell. Do you think the title changes hand there, or do you think
three times, and how many?
Yeah, that's it. How many times in a week, in 3 weeks, have they changed the titles?
At first it was Dakota and Raquel, then it was Shotzi and Ember won the titles on the same night, and then now
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just give
the titles
the actual WWE tag title to Dakota Kai? And so annoying. But yeah, NXT looks good night 1 and night 2. AEW have got, I think, Mike Tyson coming in as well. They're going to try and combat the takeover shows, tonight with a good show. So, it could be next week when me and you talk, mate. We could have lots to talk about. But let's finish us off, mate. We're going to talk WrestleMania. We're going to fly through the matches, give some predictions, and just talk about them a little bit. So night 1, you've got Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina. It's a tag team turmoil match with the winner getting a shot at Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler on night 2. Who's winning that for you?
Ooh, probably. You know what? I'm gonna go. Like you want to know what I really want? If they did, I saw this idea. That they were like, if they did like a WrestleMania battle royal and the 2 people left in the ring would be able to challenge for the tag titles, and if the two people left in the ring was the Iconics, and then they went to night 2 and won the tag. But that would be awesome. That would have been fucking perfect, bro. But they ain't doing that shit. But but I can see them giving Liv and Ruby their moment. Okay.
See, yeah, I'd like the Riot Squad to finally get a tag team title shot and run, but Vince McMahon likes to build WrestleMania moments. That's what they talk about a lot, is moments, and the long-term story moment would be Lana and Naomi defeating Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to win the title on Sunday. And I can't shake that they might do that with Lana getting the pin or the submission or whatever. Just because they did that long angle of Nia and Shayna bullying Lana for so long. So yeah, I kind of think they might go with that. But the other option I thought was, if they did that Battle Royal idea, was the last two either be the Iconics or be Bayley and Charlotte. Because let me tell you, the fact that Bayley does not have a WrestleMania match at this moment in time is fucking disgraceful. After the run she had as with the SmackDown title, to not have any meaningful story for her, is awful, mate. I really am frustrated by that. And and Charlotte's not on the show either at the moment. I do wonder whether they may add them as a tag team to that match. I just wonder.
I can see that happening.
And if they do get added, they'll win.
Oh, for sure.
They'll get the title shot then.
But what the hell are they gonna do after that?
Yeah, well, that's that. That is that. But who? It's all about the moments, mate. It's all about the moments. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage. I'm assuming we're going to see Shane McMahon jump off cage at some point.
Yeah, he's done it. You think he's gonna win? Like, is that how you gonna win? Like, Braun would throw his ass off the cage and then.
Yeah, I would say either Shane gets tossed off the top of the cage to win, but goes through like a table.
This man Vince McMahon willingly allows his son year after year, or every several years, to go flying off the top of a structure. Vince don't give a damn about nobody.
He don't give a shit. And let me tell you, right, Shane McMahon is he's not Will Ospreay. He's not 27 and in his prime.
How old is Shane?
Shane McMahon is 51 years old. He's also not a full-time wrestler, so his body's not like, I know, like, you get the wear and tear of being, working all year round and stuff, but you also build a resilience to your body taking bumps and, strains.
For real, but it's fluid, bro.
Yeah.
It's fluid really builds up in your body, like, and it protects, the bones and shit. Like, shit is crazy, bro. I don't think that shit is normal, but that shit is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, man. And the fact that he just does it like once a year, just takes this hellacious bump at age 51. Like, I just have my fingers crossed every year that he comes out all right.
Hey, Side, bro, do you remember when Shane McMahon survived that helicopter crash, bro?
Yeah, that's insane.
Bro, that's fucking crazy, bro. Like, I was looking at an article about that earlier. I completely forgot about that. And then I remember Rusev. Everybody hopped on Rusev because he made that joke right after.
Yeah. How bad a crash was it? Was it like a bad landing? Like, I think emergency landing, or did they actually crash?
I think it was in water.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if it was like like an emergency landing, or if it actually crashed into the ground or whatever. But it's either way, if you survive in like an air crash or accident, you've been lucky. Next up, Raw Tag Team titles, New Day versus AJ and Omos. I'm interested to see Omos make his in-ring debut on the main roster. Do you think AJ and Omos pick up the victory?
Of course. It's no point of doing this if they're not gonna win the titles. Like, legit. There's no point.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, does it, if they don't win? And you'd think that Omos is going to be very, Andre the Giant, Cardi dominant. Like, then you got Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
See, I kind of been going back and forth on this one because I feel like they want to keep Seth, like, keep the ball rolling with him, but I feel like they also want to at least give Cesaro a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins, bro. I feel like that's a safe bet. It's a safe bet.
I'm gonna go with Cesaro just because I do feel like they've been trying to give him something recently, and you'd like if they are going to do something with Cesaro, a big win over Seth Rollins at WrestleMania is probably a good sort of point to push off. So I'll go with Cesaro, even though, like you say, the safe bet is probably Seth Rollins. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison.
John Morrison taking that pin, baby. He taking that pin to Bad Bunny. what a hell of
After Damian Priest does all the damage.
What a hell of a run for Morrison in WWE, huh?
Mate, I think since he's come back, he's been entertaining as hell. Him and Miz together have been very entertaining. I think they've done a relatively good job of protecting Damian Priest as well.
Yeah.
Some of his matches, I would have liked to have seen him not exchange rest holds and stuff with certain people, but be a bit more dominant. But I don't think he's lost clean, so I don't know if he's lost at all actually. But I'd expect him to do the majority of the work, and then Bad Bunny do like a frog splash or something off the top to win, would be my guess. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, who taking that title?
I'm gonna go Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, haven't we? That we think the route to go is for Sasha to win, and then Bianca to have a bit of a comeback story and chase coming into SummerSlam, and Sasha being overconfident, and then Bianca Belair getting that big moment in front of fans at SummerSlam, like a full house after a long storyline. My only worry being they've built this feud so badly.
They bringing Reginald back.
Weeks. Oh God. So yeah, I worry how they would deal with that, in 6 months' time. But there we go. And then what we think will be the main event: Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Who, is Bobby going to pick up the win, or are they going to give Drew his win in front of fans that he didn't get last year?
I hate to say it, but I can kind of see the writing on the wall. It's definitely gonna be Drew. Like just the way they building Bobby, bro. Like I don't see the point of them breaking up the Hurt Business. Like it's like they realized Bobby was being liked, and they was like, oh, no, sir, no, you don't, and then they made him look like the bad guy by breaking up the Hurt Business. But they know pissed everybody off, like, which was completely idiotic. Like you could have easily just made
you could have them be heels.
You could have just easily just had them be heels without breaking the fucking group up, which was like some of the most entertaining television that you got. Like, why would you do that? Now you can't reform the group without looking stupid. Like it's crazy. But I think they want Drew McIntyre to have his moment, and fans like Drew. Bro, I've always liked Drew McIntyre. I'm not gonna sit here and be acting like I don't like. I always like Drew McIntyre, bro. I think he's a great champion. But they did such a good job with Bobby Lashley just for the end to be shit. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Like
they could have
put the title on him. You put the title on him.
Yeah, 100%, mate. They could have banned the Hurt Business from ringside
and left it at that.
They could have had Bobby Lashley say, "I want you to stay at ringside. I want you to stay in the back so I can deal with this myself." So many ways. They did not have to do that. It's infuriating. And apparently, I touched a little bit on it last week, but Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select had reported that Bobby Lashley and MVP were not happy about it, and they had a meeting with Vince, and apparently no one agreed either. Like all Vince's, Pritchard and all these different people, no one thought it was a good idea, except Vince, and Vince doubled down on it during that meeting. If I was Bobby Lashley and MVP, I'd be so mad. And you think back to that first lockdown, mate, when MVP, the Hurt Business, all those guys, Selena Vega, Aleister Black, who was with Austin Theory and Garza,
and
they were holding Raw, and Andrade were holding Raw together, and they were doing it well. They were entertaining. They were showing what they could do, and half those guys are not on WrestleMania or not even with the company anymore. And Shelton Benjamin's in some pointless battle royal on SmackDown. Very, very disrespectful, short-sighted bullshit.
Hey, bro, you I just want to touch on the significance of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair match with them in first time the two black women fighting for a title at WrestleMania. That is like fucking massive, and I'm happy for them. Like, bro, like I think the significance of the match could close the show, but I'm not like about to be like complaining and shit if they don't. I think they should close the show for sure, but like I just want to see them put out the match that I know they can. Like Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan wasn't the main event, but like most people consider that the main event. I
Yes.
know I consider that shit the main event. That was like the
Absolutely.
most memorable thing that happened on that damn show. No, that was the most memorable thing that happened on that show. Like I'm telling you, all Bianca Belair and Sasha got to go out there, whether they close the show or not, or if they in the middle, like just go out there and just go fucking kill it. Like everybody knows they will, and then people will consider it the main event. I'm telling you, that's
Absolutely,
just
mate.
what it is.
100%. And what, like, for me, I'd rather them get 15 good minutes and be the co-main event and, one but last or in the middle than go in the main event and have a shorter match. But go on last. Because ultimately, I'd rather them have the time to put on a banger than just be able to say they were the last match. Because, like you say, people will remember the moment, the match, and its significance around it, whether they're first on, in the middle, or going on last. I want them to get time. Like, don't get me wrong, I think they should go on last, and I think they should get 15, 20 minutes when they go on last. But, Vinnie Mac don't give a shit about people. So
No, that you know what I think they are going to go on last, and like you said, and I said I think they definitely should go on last. But I just think they are like all they gotta do is go out there and just put on a fucking killer match. Like that's like I'm expecting them to go out there and do that. Like it's a like really interesting like matchup, even though WWE is like failed to like build this thing properly when you have like two strong like dominant personalities. Like I don't get how this was like such a difficult thing like to like piece together. Like you didn't need Reginald, you didn't need anything else but Sasha and Bianca, and Sasha just basically calling her a fucking rookie, and then that pissing Bianca off, and then they just take it from there.
spot on,
Like
mate.
it's like I don't get it,
They're
but
both charismatic and talented enough to
yes,
tell a story.
and they have star power, bro.
Yeah, exactly that. They've got the star power. All they had to do was tell a story about Sasha being arrogant and thinking Bianca's not good enough to face her at WrestleMania, and Bianca being the star making performance and using her ability to get over and ultimately then putting on a WrestleMania worthy performance when the main event came. There was no need to make it so convoluted. And I know we're really pushed for time. I'd love to
Nah, you
spend
good,
more
bro.
time
You
talking
good.
about it, but
Go ahead. You good, bro?
they've dropped the ball with so many of these stories, which could have been
Did they?
so much better. And I had a conversation yesterday with someone about these two cards, and I was like for me, I really enjoyed the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt story, but I also think they've dropped the ball with that a lot. But I enjoy it because I enjoy the callbacks and the Easter eggs and all that aspect to it. If it didn't have that stuff, then I'm not sure I'd be as invested in that. And then this person or my mate we was talking to, he said, take the Bray Wyatt and the Randy Orton feud out of it completely, so it's not there. Like, which build up have I really enjoyed in the build up to WrestleMania? Like, which one has been genuinely entertaining? And then I looked at it and I was like, well, I was enjoying the Roman Reigns build until probably 3 weeks ago. The last couple of weeks, I haven't really enjoyed that as much. I was enjoying the Bobby Lashley push until they broke up the Hurt Business. Like, every storyline, they've dropped the ball at some point. And Sasha and Bianca encapsulate everything which I feel about that. Like, there was just no fucking need to put Reginald in there. There was no need for it, and it's damaged it for me. Like, it hasn't made it any better in any way, and I don't know one person who thinks that adding the Reginald stuff to it and making the story so convoluted. I know nobody who thought that that's made it better, and I struggle. Like, can you tell me what the thinking is by bringing him in and why they think is better with Reginald and all, making it so convoluted? Because I don't even understand it.
I couldn't tell you if I wanted to, my brother. I have no clue. I mean, I think Reginald was good for progressing the story for like 1 or 2 weeks, but they just dragged that shit out a little bit. And like, I just feel like with Sasha and Bianca, like we said, we repeated it time and time again on this podcast. Like, they just have 2 strong, dominant personalities, and that's literally all you need to carry the story. That's simple. Like, I don't really think it's like anything else even like much to say. But like now, I mean, like legit, only thing that's left, bro. All they got to do is go out there and just fucking kill it on Saturday. Like, that's it.
Yeah, that rescues the feud.
It'll save everything,
if
bro.
they have a banger, but they shouldn't be in that position either.
Yeah.
Night 2, women's tag team match: Nia Jax versus someone, and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus someone. Do you think it depends on who they face on whether they drop the titles, or do you think they drop the titles regardless?
I think they're gonna face Liv and Ruby, and they're gonna drop the titles to Liv and Ruby, or maybe Lana gets the pin on Nia Jax, and then maybe they tell that story. Lana finally gets the win over Nia.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Lana Naomi.
It was Lana and Naomi. Lana and Naomi win.
Shit the bed with Naomi. Jesus Christ, what the hell she?
Yeah, exactly that, mate. If it's the Riot Squad will win. Yeah. Have their moment. And if it's Bayley and Charlotte as a surprise,
you know they
will win. Yeah. So I think, Shayna and Nia Jax are dropping the titles. Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States title. Do we see Riddle retain, or will Sheamus pick up the victory?
I think Riddle wins, and Riddle loses the title the next night to Keith Lee.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Do you know what really is another example of how they've completely mismanaged their superstars? Like, they brought in Ali as the leader of Retribution, completely fucked that up when they didn't need to. Could have made it interesting and good and made Ali a star, or an even bigger star, and really given him like an upper main event push or whatever. And then they split Retribution up in an angle on the pre-show, advertised and promoted that they were going to follow it up for the next night on Raw, didn't do anything. Advertised that they were going to do something with it the week after on Raw, didn't do anything with it, and they've just disappeared off TV. Is infuriating. He had a good match with Riddle though. Did Mustafa Ali
with a torn PCL?
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, he been working on it for like the past month, bro.
Jesus, what a man. They've just dropped the ball. Like, what are they going to do with all those people now? Like,
catering.
They've just. But look, the talent in that stable.
Just let Dijakovic be himself now. Just let him be himself.
They let him all. I actually think Dijakovic and
Mace.
I forget his name. Mace.
Leo Madden.
A good tag team. Yeah, I think they make quite a good tag team. I'd probably keep the masks on them if they're going to be a tag team, or I'd keep the mask on Mace because I think he's got quite a cool look. And I think they could be actually a really good tag team for him. I wish they would have done something with them as a group, because I felt like there was potential there, which they didn't recognise. And it's just made Ali look stupid. That's my biggest problem with it all.
And they took away his theme song.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they put Mia Yim in to the
what the hell they do that Mia Yim? Like, what the hell they doing Mia Yim? Like, what the hell is going on?
Again, another one, so talented, deserves better. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Banger.
This is going to be good.
Banger.
And Banger. Going to be Kevin Owens will probably do something crazy.
He going to jump off the ship.
Yeah. He's going to do something crazy. Is there any way Sami Zayn wins this fight?
Bro, I genuinely can't call it. Like, I don't know who's going to win. I can't tell. Like, it's like, no, I can't really, like, you can see Kevin Owens winning, but you can see Sami Zayn winning. Like, it's like, I really can't. Can't tell at all. I'm gonna say Sami Zayn. I think Kevin Owens jumping off that ship is gonna cost them the match, and then that's how they get Sami Zayn to win.
Yeah, possibly. Or Logan Paul pushes Kevin Owens off the ship as he's about to do some crazy dive. Maybe
I forgot about Logan Paul.
Maybe they'll go down that route and get the mainstream. Big E versus Apollo Crews. Will Apollo Crews finally get the title? And if he doesn't get the title, does it make make his heel turn a waste of time?
So don't try to ignore the stipulation.
What is the stipulation
for the match?
What is it?
It's a Nigerian drum match.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is that?
You want to know what's funny? Biggie did an interview with Ariel Helwani and he got asked what is a Nigerian drum match. Biggie said, "Bro, I don't know."
He likes that. We haven't decided yet.
He really like legitimately doesn't know what that shit is. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, what the WWE, but they pushing it with this Apollo. Like they pushing it. You know that like, come on, bro. You telling me you just couldn't send them out there and they have a regular singles match? Fucking Nigerian drum match. What the fuck is a Nigerian drum match? Who came up with that shit? Like,
obviously not Apollo Crews. Bro, he doesn't know what it is.
So they said the rules for this is that anything is allowed. So why don't you just do a fucking falls count anywhere match?
Yep.
Like, what?
Stupid.
But
do you think he's got to finally win?
Nah.
Do you think that makes his heel turn asinine though?
Yeah.
He's lost
that if he don't,
over and over again. Such a shame.
But I think Biggie. Yeah, I think Biggie gonna win, bro.
Yeah, I also see like not beating Biggie. Like, I do get that, but then don't do the match yet. Don't do the match until you're ready to beat him. Like, he'd lost twice already. I think is right in a a title matches. So don't do this match until, like, save it. Do it in a few months when you're ready for Apollo Crews to win. You don't have to keep doing the matches over and over again. Like, it drives me nuts.
And then Big E was born and raised in Tampa. Like, I just like, he babyface, bro. Like, he too babyface. I can't see it.
Absolutely. The next step is the match I talked about a minute ago, which was the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. My problem with this, and as you know, I love like the story and I love all about it, all the different things. My problem with this is in their last match, Randy Orton set the Fiend on fire, and now they're gonna have a one-on-one match with Alexa Bliss as a valet. Like, this should have been a Five Flags Funhouse match. They could have done some interesting stuff with that and Randy Orton's history, and they could have given lots of little nods to his history and stuff with Evolution and all that stuff. The problem is, because they've got fans in attendance, it does make that cinematic match a little bit more difficult to pull off. But, the Fiend's going to win. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't.
This match does not need to be anything more than 5 minutes, or this shit is going to put the crowd to sleep. I'm telling you. Like,
Well, the thing is, if either you do the Fiend, like, just destroying Randy Orton,
spit it out, bro.
Just destroying Randy Orton in like 5 minutes. I was trying to they couldn't think of the right words. Just he has to destroy him in like 2 minutes, just completely destroy him, or they may as well have just done a Firefly Funhouse match, because, like you said, if it goes over that sort of 5 minute point, it's going to kill the crowd because of the type of match it's going to be. So they may as well have done the cinematic match, which made more sense to the story. So yeah, it makes no sense to me. Oscar versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title.
Put it on
Rhea Ripley to win,
please. Just put it on Rhea. I like, bro. I don't know. Like, I know it's been said many times. Like, and like you really can't call Oscar's like main roster run a failure, because she's like a multi-time SmackDown Women's Champion, multi-time Raw Women's Champion, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, Women's Tag Titles. Like, she's literally done everything, and she's been successful. But the like every single last one of her runs, she's never the focus. Never the focus. Like, she's always like happenstance, like just happen to be there. Transitional champion. like I think we all kind of could see the writing on the wall. They were probably gonna put the title on Lacey Evans, and then do that versus Charlotte at Mania instead. Like, just put the title on Rhea. Rhea's fresh. Everybody loves Rhea Ripley. Like, she's a new face on the roster. What a better way to start off her main roster run than having her win the Raw Women's title, carry that on, eventual showdown with Becky Lynch possibly. Like, the only problem is I don't know what the hell they're gonna do after Mania. Like, you got to feed Rhea some solid opponents. Like, you can't just be like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, here's Dana Brooke. Like,
But you
no,
know
you
what
gotta.
they're gonna do, because they're fucking stupid, is they will do Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley with, and Alexa Bliss is gonna have this kind of fiend-like gimmick, whatever, whereby you don't want to beat her, so don't put her in the feud with Rhea Ripley until you're ready to take the title off Rhea Ripley or have Rhea Ripley lose. You know they won't be able to hold their bolt. They will shoot their load too quickly, and they will do it straight after WrestleMania, because they will be like, oh, call back to Royal Rumble when Rhea Ripley eliminated Alexa Bliss. And it's like, fucking, that's going to blow my mind.
You want to know who I would like to see a first challenger for Rhea after Mania? Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Bring back Nikki Cross.
Mate. Good shout. I like it. Good shout. I wouldn't be against like a Shayna Baszler.
They run it back. I'm surprised they haven't touched on that. Rhea, the one that ended Shayna's NXT Women's title run. They had a real good match on NXT.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be against that now, because they're going to drop the tag titles. So I wouldn't be against that, and you could even
go Charlotte,
have Nia Jax get jealous and cost Shayna the feud. Cost Shayna her title match at the next pay-per-view or whatever. They can transition into another feud, and then you can do Nikki Cross or whoever. But Mia Yim, there's so many options of people who they could do entertaining feuds with and build people up and make Rhea Ripley quite a dominant champion. Next up then is Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel Bryan might be in there to take the pin, mate.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man, because the crowd. I feel like the crowd is gonna change so much. I think out of everybody, Daniel Bryan is like going to be get like the biggest pop from Edge and Roman. Like and bro, I'm so interested in like how the crowd is going to react to Roman, because I feel like Edge is going to get booed. I don't know why. I feel like they're gonna boo Edge, but not in the like getaway type thing, but more so like his just directed at his character. I feel like this is the Roman Reigns that people want, so I don't think he's getting booed. I think they're gonna cheer him, which is it's gonna be kind of weird.
I don't know if he'll get cheered like full cheers.
I
don't think he'll get the full heel treatment that he deserves.
Bro,
that makes sense.
They're gonna pop for Roman when he comes out.
Yeah, maybe that fit. Do you know what I would do for? Because I agree. I think that Roman Reigns will probably get a pop when his music hits. I would change his music, and I would have his new music be debuted at Royal Rumble at the WrestleMania show. So I'd bring out like a new, slower, completely different heel music for him, and I would debut it for the first time at WrestleMania, so that the fans don't really recognize it. So like when the first chords of his song hits, it used to be like boos straight away. I feel like if they do that, the crowd will cheer at WrestleMania because of various reasons. But yeah, I don't know. I want Roman Reigns to keep the title, which I never would say. So I feel like
he go pin Bryan.
Daniel Bryan's in there to either take the pin from Roman Reigns, or if they want to put the title on Edge, then he's there to take the pin, so Roman doesn't have to as well.
But you think Daniel Bryan gonna retire?
I think he's got a little bit left in him, but then what's he got left to do, really? Like, I mean, could they put the title on him and then
of course
retire on Friday?
No! Don't do that! Don't do that! No, don't do that! Don't do that!
I don't know.
I thought you meant like just put a title. Like, yeah, I don't think people would complain if they put the title on them. I wouldn't, but
No,
I
I don't
mean,
think they will though.
but like with Roman, I could just see like Brian taking the pin and then them doing him versus Edge at Money in the Bank.
Korea versus Korea. Like if they wanted to go full thing with Edge as a heel, which I think wouldn't be the worst idea. You could do Edge versus Bryan, Korea versus Korea at the next pay-per-view, and have Edge, go fully like he has done recently with the chair, and take Bryan out and have Bryan's career finish that way. That wouldn't be the worst idea. Be interesting where they go, mate. But overall, mate, I am looking forward to WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to NXT tonight. I'm looking forward to NXT tomorrow. NXT tonight, I'm particularly looking forward to. But just a good week, mate, of wrestling, really.
For the culture on Thursday, let's get it.
That's the way you watch that on Fight TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the GCW shows gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be good shit. There's it's weird, isn't it? Like the last couple of years, WrestleMania week hasn't been as like in recent years. There's obviously been so many shows, like multiple shows per day. WrestleMania week, and obviously there's not as many. Very quickly, mate, what have you made of NWA's return?
Not much, to be honest with you.
Thought their pay-per-view was shit, but I thought the first episode of Power was good. So.
But what it seemed like they have not I mean, it don't seem like they focusing on Thunder Rosa. It's just like like they just like kind of bypassing like that she's like one of the biggest stars.
Yeah.
Like they get it's kind of crazy, but I mean I think they doing a solid job. I just think people was it just been a long time, bro, since NWA Power, and a lot of shit has happened since then, and it's like it's just maybe it's just not within a lot of people's sights right now.
Well, you've got Raw Monday, you've got NXT Tuesday, AEW Wednesday, Impact Thursday, SmackDown Friday, and then pay-per-views and things on the weekend. It's difficult, isn't it? And that's not including things like Netflix, TV, football, basketball, Premier League, whatever other stuff that people watch. Like, there is only so much content you can watch. And I feel like, for me, NXT UK and NWA Power are the first two, which I sort of drop. And then Impact, and I enjoy a lot of the stuff that these companies have done over the last couple of years, but I can't watch everything, mate, at the end of the day. And,
so we got I think it's the anniversary of Kofi Kingston winning the world title, and that amazing NXT North American title ladder match from TakeOver New Orleans. It's like one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen.
Well, mate, if it wasn't WrestleMania week, I'd say let's rewatch them for next week's show, and we'll have a chat about them. But it's WrestleMania week, so we're gonna have quite a lot to talk about. But I would like to rewatch those at some point, and then
we could definitely do a TakeOver New Orleans rewatch, because that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I really would like to do that, mate. So
and it's kind of crazy to see where everybody is now.
Yeah, maybe 1 week, maybe in a couple of weeks, we'll do that. When there's no pay-per-view on, like a Sunday or whatever, we'll do a little a retro review or a watch along, or
do a live,
some sort of shit. Yeah,
do a live.
Along, mate. Come in,
do it.
A live watch along.
Book me,
guys.
Book me.
Pay me. Pay me the big money. So check out and subscribe to youtube.com/Andrew Thompson interviews. Click the bell for notifications to get the best interviews in wrestling. Check out Andrew's social media pages, and of course check out postwrestling.com for all the latest news WrestleMania week. And of course, join us on Ace Podcast Nation. We'll be back next week talking WrestleMania, AEW, NXT, and any other madness that comes with the wrestling news week, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a newsworthy show next week. It's going to be interesting what they do with the Raw after WrestleMania with no fans. So I'm fascinated to see fascinated actually, just to see how the next 7 days.
No Way Jose return.
Yeah, No Way Jose. That's what we all want. It's what we all want. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fascinating, mate, to see what they do. But look, I appreciate your time, mate. You've given me way over what we said we were going to do. So thank you, mate, for fitting this in, because I know it's a very extremely busy week. You
of course,
are
bro.
the GOAT and
GOH Andrew Thompson.
yeah, the greatest of all Andrew Thompsons in the world. But now you keep it real, my friend, and I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Cheers, guys.
I've been all in my bag, you been all in my business. You be all in your feelings. I've been all in them trenches.